Hello my divine creatures, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing very well and find yourselves blessed. Alright, so in today's video we are going to be talking about the first color in the original gay pride flag, which is pink. This look, it's just going to be like a simplistic pretty in pink lid with maybe some pink lips. We'll see, just pink on pink on pink. We're gonna go pink today. Jeffrey, coming for ya. Just kidding, please don't sue me. You have so much more money than I do. So today we will be talking about that, and we will also be talking about what the color represented, which was sex. So we'll be talking a lot about that, and we'll also be talking about Marsha P. Johnson. If you want to see the look that I'm about to create, stay tuned. So the color pink, the word that represented that color was sex. And sex was important to, in my opinion, to the LGBT community. I think it was because it was almost the only thing that couldn't be taken away from us. So it was something that gave us power, in a sense. We're going to start the look, obviously, by the same product as NYX. It's a little concealer pot. It's actually in the shade beige. It was kind of our way of like saying screw you to society and not really giving two elotes of what anyone had to say. But also, sex was a thing that, you know, they used against us. So we, as the LGBT community, if you were someone who was a gender bender or even trans, it was illegal. So I want you guys to understand that back then, in, you know, the 50s and the 60s and 70s, like, it was illegal to be gay. Back then, just holding someone's hand of the same sex, you were arrested, and these weren't misdemeanors. You were arrested and it was a felony. One of the laws was that men and women had to wear clothing that highlighted their gender. So if a man were to wear any clothing that was intended for a woman, or if a woman was to wear any clothing that was intended for a man, they could be arrested. And that's what a lot of the raids were as well. So a lot of the raids would go into a lot of gay bars and they would check to see if everyone was clothing appropriate. Back then they had what was called sodomy laws. A lot of the sodomy laws were used to deny gays essential rights, custody of children. Or if you were found to be gay in that time, you could be fired, and it still happens today in a lot of states here in America. I will find that information out and I'll put it in the description below. Even in today's society, if you were to be found gay, there are no laws protecting you. You will be arrested on the spot. Not arrested, I said arrested. You'd be fired on the spot. So in 1976, there was a case, Doe versus the Commonwealth Attorney of Richmond, that changed sodomy laws, stating that the laws were an invasion of privacy. So it was against the law to basically use something that was done behind closed doors against somebody. So I will actually link in the description below ASLU, which is the American Civil Liberties Union, and they have a lot of information when it came down to sodomy laws, how they progressed and how they changed. When it came down to sex, not just the act of it, again, I feel as though it was also us as a happy out there community, we used it in the clothing that we wore, in what we wanted to like portray, not just, you know, our trans brothers and sisters, but also those who were gender benders, who kind of blurred the gender lines and things of that nature. So, I mean, that's why sex, I think, was a key component in not only the gay pride flag, but in the LGBT community. So now I'm going in again with the James Charles palette. I'm going in with this soft pink color, unofficially given the name Mother of All Gays. Marsha P. Johnson was born August 24th, 1945 in Elizabeth, New Jersey. She died in July 6th of 1992. Her death at the time was ruled as a suicide, but the community was not having it. Marsha P. Johnson was a huge staple in the community back in New York, and people knew her. People knew her light. People knew what type of personality she was, and they weren't convinced that Marsha had killed herself. They had found her body in the Hudson River. The police at the time, even today, I mean, it still is a huge problem that the police force does not investigate in depth trans deaths. And they love to just rule it as like a suicide or, you know, undetermined. Eventually, Marsha P. Johnson's case was opened again and was ruled, her death was ruled as uncertain as opposed to a suicide. I'm going to go in with the pink, and we're going to go and define the crease. She was given the title of the main instigator of Stonewall. A lot of people said There's a couple stories that she was the first person to throw the first brick at a police car, that she was the first person to throw the first shot glass to a mirror in a bar, and that was the shot glass heard around the world. And again, a lot of this information will be linked in the description below if you guys want to find out more in depth. There will be a video of Marsha P. Johnson's life. You can find out about her Netflix documentary, The Life and Death of Marsha P. Johnson. Alright, so basically taking that darker color and I am just defining the crease a little bit. I'm basically using these three colors here in the palette to define the crease. Now I'm going to go in and put in a color in my lid. I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. And I am using this beautiful, delicious lavender color. It's going to go all over the lid. Just all that was incorrect. Okay, there we go. Was using the wrong side. One of the reasons I chose Marsha P. Johnson to talk about first was because back then and even now, our trans brothers and sisters have really been kind of swept under the rug. Marsha and Sylvia were two people that started this along with Stormy Delavi. Like, these were three people who were gender benders, who were people of color, who took a stand and just started it. And I think it's time that they have the recognition. Yeah, Marsha P. Johnson toured around the nation with this group called Hot Peaches, which was, you know, a touring cabaret of genderqueer people, trans people, drag queens, and it was her, Sylvia, and even Stormy Delavi. Stormy Delavi, I think, was the only drag king who performed with Hot Peaches as well. So there's that. Ooh, okay. Are you mad at this pink? Because I kind of am. Mad in a good way. I want to slap it because it looks so good. So now I'm going to go in with my translucent powder, my Coty Air Spun. Oh my god, you guys, this smells, I think it just smells like baby powder, but I remember I showed this to my sister and she was like, this smells like Jesus powder. And I was like, okay, if that's what we want to call it. So Marsha's body was found in 1992, and her body was actually cremated, and her ashes were scattered at the Hudson River where she was found. Marsha just deserves to be recognized and deserves to be known. My main focus of these videos, as I said, is to educate a lot of the younger generations. That's why I kind of mask it with the makeup so that you guys kind of pay attention. And hopefully you do pay attention. I understand sometimes I can be very scatterbrained. But Marsha is almost the birth mother of all gays. And she's the spirit of who we are. It kind of breaks my heart sometimes when some people kind of, I'm about to cry. When some people kind of roll their eyes at someone who was so significant in her life. We owe her so much. And that's why I wanted to pay a tribute to her. Because without her, this wouldn't even be a possibility. No gay people in the media. This wouldn't be a reality without her. And without our elders. I'm like trying my hardest not to like tear up too much. Because I worked too hard on this. So what I did was I went in with this darker color and just went underneath the eye. The seams kind of all mend together. Oh, am I pretty? Tell me I'm pretty. Tell me. Please comment down there. You're kind of pretty. Even if it's a lie. Actually, I would love to read a comment like you're garbage. You're nothing but garbage. Alright, I'm gonna do my eyeliner off camera only because that takes forever. And then I'll be right back. And then I'll also do my lips off camera as well. So. And this is the final look. Just did my lips and a little bit of highlight off camera. And I don't like doing my eyeliner on camera because I feel like it gives me anxiety when I'm trying to like hold my breath trying to do it. And anytime I see someone else doing their eyeliner, it gives me anxiety as well. So I'm gonna just spare anyone who gets anxiety. Oh, and then I did blend my neck as well. Me and Aspen were kind of laughing off camera that I did put foundation over my neck, and you're gonna see that. And everyone in the videos, or who's watching the video, is probably like, when is he gonna blend the neck? But it's blended now and powdered, so there's that. But yeah, this is the final look. I don't put on lashes. I probably should, but I mean, at the end of the day, this is all gonna get washed off. We got monsters. At the end of the day, this is all gonna get washed off. So I hope you guys enjoyed the look. But please, you guys, remember that in our Pride season, remember it is 50 years we are celebrating of Stonewall. And let's unite as opposed to segregate one another. Segregation has already happened back then, you know. It was the whites against the coloreds, and then all the colored and white gay people against the trans people, and it's something we need to look past. We are a community, we're going for the same things. Let's remember that there's a lot of work that still needs to be done. Yes, we as gay cis people, we may have our rights, and a lot of them, there are still a lot of rights that needs to be fought for when it comes to our trans brothers and sisters. So keep that in mind in our Pride season. But remember the spirit of what Pride is. And remember that we are united in this, all right? I hope you guys are having a blessed week, and I love you all. Please stay proud. Love you.